Hi guys, I just thought I'd do this video on the PSBC990, the pressure cabinet, the one with the pot, the fault finder video this is. So obviously time to time you're going to get issues, whether you spend £2.5 with me or 10 grand with someone else, whatever. You're going to have faults because you're blasting with an abrasive media which is going to wear away things. Make holes in pipes, wear away seals, and so on. So I thought I would do this and hopefully it would help. The biggest issue, hang on. Basically what happens, how it works is, when you stand on that foot pedal, there's an electromagnetic valve behind here, and it tells this on the back of this block here, on the back of that tank, that block, there's a plunger inside it, and what it does, that goes forward and then it pressurizes the tank. It blocks off that exhaust pipe which is underneath the grill, then it pressurizes the tank and a mushroom goes up inside the tank and seals it. Then it becomes pressurized. So I've got this one running at the moment, look. It's sat at 100 psi. I've got a wheel in there. Just been having a quick play with it. I'll just have a quick demo on it, look, to show you. Where is the... hang on. Here we go. Let's get that out of the way. Hopefully you can see that. Get the top layers off. Right, we'll have a look at that now. Okay. That's the noise you should hear when you take your foot off the pedal. So what that noise was, that plunger on that block pulling back and releasing the pressure out of the tank, and then the mushroom inside the tank will drop down and all the media will refill the tank. Let's have a quick look at what I've just done. There. Okay, a lot of lads still dip the wheels first and then they'll whack it in this just to give it a key ready for painting, powder coating, whatever. Right, okay. Just want to show you these dials here. So that's my inlet, sat at 100 psi, can be adjusted by that there. When I put my foot on the pedal, there we go. They'll drop. Both go back up together. And then that's the tank pressure, sitting at about 60 psi. Once I release, that's the tank pressure drop. Hear that click? That was the mushroom dropping back down. I'll go and turn my compressor off. Right, okay, so that's the compressor off, so I can hear myself think. Right, I'm running a compressor through a dryer as well, so I've always got a dry media coming in. That can cause problems, especially with glass bead. The back of the block will block up with moisture and it will jam the plunger. And what you will find is some people will ring up and they say, when I put my foot on the pedal, I don't get any media, and then when I release the pedal I just get a gush of media, and that normally tells me that the plunger on the back of the block has got moisture in it, or it could be worn. So the most common from new, I have people ringing up, they have these pipes on the wrong way round. So if you remember that the blue one is always closer into the tank and the little orange one is furthest away, because in the instructions they do cross over, so it does confuse people. So that's that. And also I have people running in a quarter BSP. So you want a 13mm inside diameter air line, because the air can't get in the tank quick enough. If you're running with a little 8 to 10mm inside diameter, it's just no good. So you want bigger the better. Same with the compressor, bigger the better. So I've mentioned the block a couple of times on the back, because that seems to be the thing that causes people problems. So that is a block. Oop. So I've got one in the vise here. I say about the plunger. Sometimes we get plungers where the rod is snapped, so it's not going in and out of there to seal. So this, oh, where's that? So that hole there, you can see the plunger there, look. I don't know if you can see it, but there you go, it's there. So that's that plunger has gone across. Wash. But normally it's connected to a rod like this. And here it is on the back end. So there's the block, look. I've taken the front off. Okay, just to show you. So like I said, this sometimes they come off the rod. It should be able to move in and out freely. Okay. Sometimes, like I said, they come off that thing that bolts onto there. It's got that thread. The screw onto there. That comes off, like that one has there. See that? So that without that going across and sealing, there's your problem on that. The mushroom, I said, this is the mushroom seal they wear, just like these plunger seals. They wear, because when you take your foot off the pedal and you hear that psh sound, media rushes past, so eventually it wears away a groove in it, and you don't get a seal. So when it goes in, it doesn't seal anymore, so you don't get your pressure in the tank. Another reason you're not getting the pressure in the tank, this mushroom, which is on a rod, like on this picture over here, I've got one like that. So when you put your foot on the pedal, like I said, that plunger goes across, seals that. Then your mushroom goes up and seals the tank. Now these weird as well. So if you look down, which you do got to be very careful when you do, and you see media spitting past, you know, inside the hopper, that's not sealing, then the tank won't pressurize. So that could be another problem. I'll just put this over here. Just, you can pause that, and it shows you how to change the mushroom. There we are. Okay, this is the magnetic valve, which tells these things to work. These are known to fail as well. I keep all the spare parts, and they're all on my website, which is sandblasters.co.uk. I'm a big believer, if you're going to import something, you've got to give, you know, have all the spare parts on the shelf. So that is an electromagnetic valve, which I keep as well. I've also had people asking me, the hoses tend to go. Now, they do go, and I will say they're not the greatest of hoses on these. And I've tried looking at upgrades, but because of the sizing of the fitters, I'm struggling, and I'm still struggling. This hose here. So it tends to go on the bend mainly, but we've had a few that it does go on the straight for some reason. Inferior hose, I don't know. But that is something that does go. Some lads keep a spare one on the shelf. because they might do, I don't know, 4 or 5 sets of wheels and they've gone through a bloody hose, which is like another 20 odd quid. But again, we keep them in stock and they do wear. So bear that in mind. Keep an eye on it. If you're losing pressure, check the back of your cabinet, because I've had one guy, he didn't realise he carried on blasting it, and it, you know, started blasting his back wall. And he couldn't understand where all the dust was coming from on top of his cabinet. But we got to the bottom of it. It was a split hose. Right, okay. Okay, for changing the media, what the factory recommend is that you reduce that down to 2 bar, put the gun inside a bucket or a bag or whatever, and just stand on the pedal. But for me, that just takes forever. I know a lot of customers tend to take off this inspection hatch and scoop it out, but you're never going to get all of it out. So what I find is easier. I take this off, disconnect that, and take the whole lot off. Take the whole valve off and let it drop down onto some trays, and then you can chuck it away then, or if you're changing it, obviously you put it into another bucket and put it back in later. You only want about 15 kilos in this tank. I've had guys that chuck a couple of bags in. You do that, what happens, the mushroom can't go up and down freely, and so it will not seal. And also, if there's too much media in it, you're not leaving enough for the air for it to pressurize. So only about 15 kilos. Guys say it's really dusty. Well, keep your filters cleaned out. Every 6 hours they should be blown out carefully. And also, if your media is shot, or if you're dealing with really fine media, then it is going to be dusty straight from the off. But if you're working and, you know, started with a 40 grade and it's gone through down to 60, it's going to work its way right down. And it'll be really dusty, so then it's time to change the media. So by doing it that way, from the bottom, anything that's dropped, flecks of paint, bits and pieces that have gone through the grills, you can clear it out. And you can clean out your valve at the bottom, give it a mini service every time you change the media. What I found was this valve, I have it set about 5 half turns back. All the way to the right is closed and then halfway open. But you can adjust that to suit whatever you're working with. I think I've covered everything, I hope so. If I haven't, then you can always call me. I'm always on the end of the phone, not straight away, but I will return calls. I try my best. Busy and all that, same as you guys. That's it. Yeah, well, thanks for watching, and I hope this helps. And I hope you're not watching this video because you have got problems. But if you have, I hope this helps. And failing that, give me a ring at the office, which is 01777 708 457. Check out my website, which is sandblasters.co.uk. And that's it. Thanks very much. All the best to you.